Hello and welcome to our channel, How We Move the Decimal. In today's video, I am photographing slides to list on eBay, and at the end of the video, you can see some digital renderings of some of the slides. I pick out the best. I don't do them all, but there will be some digital renderings at the end. And I think one of my previous videos showed the machine I use in the process I go through to do the digital renderings. This is my first haul of slides. I have a whole nother haul that I haven't even gone through yet. I am waiting. In my last video that I made, I was talking about how I'm going to spend the first 2 weeks in November really photographing and stuff, because once Thanksgiving hits, I don't have the luxury of using my dining room table anymore. It will be for holiday stuff, birthday stuff, all of that. So if I need my dining room table to list on eBay, I'm going to have to go through and just do it the first 2 weeks of November, and probably not be able to do it again until after the first of the year, maybe after Christmas, but that's pretty busy time of year still. So for right now, as I'm narrating this, it's October 17th, and we have all Halloween stuff coming up. After Halloween, I'll have a 2-week break between Halloween and Thanksgiving. It's ramping up for me semester-wise, school-wise, but I will be able to get 2 weeks of photographing done. And I know I will dedicate table time for those 2 weeks. I do like to keep it clean during the week for homework and eating. Ideally, we would all eat meals together, but we all eat meals separately, 2 or 3 at a time, usually at the table. So I need to have at least half of the table clean for that. But the kids know, my husband knows, everybody knows those 2 weeks will be devoted to photographing whatever I have. Problem is my inventory is getting pretty low. I do have the whole new lot of slides I can photograph. I will photograph these, and then they may not even get listed until after the first of the year, because my process is I go through bulk photograph and I write down like blurbs about what I'm taking photographs of, and then I will go through at a later date and list it. These are really cool. The one I just did by itself was a bear in a car, and it was in the 50s, and a vintage yellow 50s car, and there is a brown bear like trying to get in the window of the car, which is awesome. I will also say one of these lots, I don't know if it's in this one or it's in the other one, this is a boy and his dog in snow. I have sold kitschy things like that, like grandpa and son fly fishing, boy and dog in snow, bear and car, stuff like that I will sell separately, and they will tend to do well. As you're seeing here, I write everything down. I'm just now being able to write well. My surgery was all the way back in July, at the end of July, and my fingers are still a little prickly, or like, I don't want to say numb, but they don't have all the feeling. But I can write now, and unfortunately where my scar is where the pin hits. So I can't write for a long period of time, but I can write a lot better now, which is making this go a lot faster, and which is making my day job also a little easier. And I've always been able to type. It hasn't really messed with typing, but handwriting, it still is a little wonky. With this also, I'm going to switch. I have 2 different GoPro knockoff cameras I use. This one is super sensitive to light, and I think I prefer the other one when doing the photos because of the light and how dark it gets when I turn my photo thing off, where the other one didn't seem to get as dark. With the slides, again, when I list them out, I try to put them together. This is baby on beach, man in boat, and those will be sold again by themselves. It's a little difficult shipping smaller lots of slides. Like, I prefer shipping 200 slides because I have specific slide boxes that those can fit into, and I'm totally cool with that because I know the weight of 200 slides. I know the weight of that box, which is 1 pound 4 ounces, and the container probably weighs more than the slides do, but I I have that down to a science. So I like shipping lots of 200. So if you look at my listings, a lot of them are lots of 200 because that's my sweet spot with slides. But if they're very specific things, then it's hard to lot them up. So it's like Hawaii 1967. Okay, this is my thing that I use to scan digitals of it. It's not a name brand, it's an off brand. When I bought it on Amazon, it was $115. I think it's almost 200 now. Thank you, inflation. But I like it. The problem is a lot of times you have to slide the slides through, and a lot of times they do get stuck, and I don't want to damage the slides. So I have to keep drinking. My neighbor is burning leaves, which is horrible. Don't burn leaves. Like, I understand lawn bags suck, and we have a ton of trees in our yard. Don't burn leaves. Let them decompose. Be like families for animals, whatever. But I'm sensitive to it. It like makes the back of my throat itch. My daughter is very sensitive. She ends up having to use a nebulizer, and my husband has reactive airway. So it's like anytime they burn leaves, we can't open our windows. My windows aren't even open and it's affecting the back of my throat. It is just permeating my house. So be conscious. Don't burn leaves. We went and did like a boo at the zoo. So you go into costume. And so all three of the kids went in costume, and they go around stations at the zoo, and you like trick or treat or whatever, and they get like little goodie bags and stuff. But I was joking that you're a reseller when you start looking at all the decorations that they're using and start pricing them out in your head. And so they've been doing this boo at the zoo forever. This is not new. This is it. The zoo itself has been redone. This is not the same zoo I went to as a child. It's essentially all new. It's in the same area though, but it's got like a new entrance and new exhibits and everything. But they still apparently have the decorations from when the zoo was originally opened. And you guys can kind of get where I'm going at this if you've priced vintage Halloween decorations. And every time we went by anything, I was like, oh my gosh, that would be. They have like a pumpkin like patch, and it has vintage blow molds, and some of them are very rare. One of the blow molds there, well, they had 4 of them, and 4 of the same type, and I was looking them. I did a Google Lens, and then I looked it up on eBay, and it was going for like almost $5,000, and they had 4. And then they had just the standard vintage like pumpkin, but these were like pumpkins with like people faces on them, and they were very large. They were probably 3 feet tall. They had the quintessential cat on the pumpkins, the old one. I got the new one at Target this year for $10. It's just a cute little like indoor one. I wouldn't put it outside. But I was looking at all these blow molds, and I took a picture of it so I could go back and look at them later. And why am I wasting my time on that? They're going to, this is not something, I'm not going to sell these, but I wanted to know. And I was like, oh my gosh, that there's like up to $40,000 in this pumpkin patch that they had at the zoo. And they just throw those things, like they don't treat them nice. They put them in a shed for next year. And it's just crazy. And like, that's the same decorations year after year. A lot of the like 50s and 60s cardboard or like paperboard signs, ghosts, a couple of the like really old witches, lights, all of that. And it's the same decorations year after year. Like when you walk in there, you're like, oh, this is the skeleton playground where they have the skeletons on bikes and everything. And then you walk around the corner and you're like, oh, this is the pumpkin patch. And towards the end, you're like, oh, it's the graveyard with all the gravestones. And it's kind of comforting because it never changes. But I was just looking, I'm like, oh my gosh, why do I care this much? Why am I looking at this? Why do I care how much these blow molds are? But it just baffled me. Things like that people don't realize what they have. Maybe they do realize they have that much money invested in blow molds, at their zoo, maybe. But this is what gets me like estate sales in when they don't realize what they have. Now, maybe that's where like the auctions and stuff I fare better versus like actual estate sales. I have not had luck at a single estate sale that has been an actual estate sale in my area, but it's because it's done two different ways. Estate auctions are run completely by one company, and then like standalone estate sales are run almost exclusively by another company. And the other company that does like the estate sales that last all weekend, everything is actually priced, that person overprices everything, has eBay listings, does not use sold listings, uses what's like actively listed. So it's incredibly overpriced. He will not deal at all. And even like he won't mark down. So like everything's full price the first day, everything's 25% off the second day or 50% off, and then the third day it's 75% off or whatever. That's what the old company used to do, but that the owner of that company retired, and now this guy has come in, and he won't give discounts on days. He won't even give discounts on bulk, where like the old company would be like, I will buy this whole closet for $50. And they'd be like, cool, that's great. Here, you now own a closet. Or I will buy all of the ties for $10. And I'm like, okay, cool, here's all the ties. Or if you don't sell this at the end, I will buy this room. I'll buy whatever hasn't sold in this room. So that old estate sale company would do deals like that. I asked, and they were not kosher with it. The new company was not, and he was quite offended by it. And he said if I wanted it, to buy it now, and if I don't want it, to stop wasting his time, which is fine. I always go by the philosophy, it doesn't hurt to ask. It doesn't hurt to ask if you don't sell this, or at the end of the sale, would you be willing to do a deal? Now, also be wary if someone has come in and already made that deal, they're less likely to put those items on sale. So if you're waiting for something to come and you're waiting for the 75% off or the 50% off, if someone has already made a decent deal on that room, they may just box that room up and not have to mess with it. So it goes both ways. I wasn't expecting anything out of it, but he was really, really rude about it. And I was very surprised by that. And I've gone to other sales since then where he has the eBay listings listed. He oftentimes will sell broken items. If items are not priced, he will not sell them to you. And then he will price them and put them back. So there's that. And a couple times it's happened where I've brought something to the front and they're like, oh, they talk to you about it, and then they look it up and decide not to sell it to you, or they want a higher price for it. And that's happened one time too many, and it's incredibly frustrating. So yeah, I've had better luck with auction estate sales. Well, thank you for watching. Please stay and look at the digital renderings of this, and like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping a bomb to people putting up walls. I feel like life is on hold, perception stuck in a vault. I know that time can heal all, but how much time till we fall? It's awfully chilly outside, when there's no shelter to hide. When everything is a lie, you'll find that out in some time. But when the things on your mind are all considered a crime, communication aside, we'll all just fight till we die. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises, or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age.